What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. So this is a very different video, but I thought it would just be like super fun to film and share these things with you guys. So I'm gonna be sharing 10 weird, crazy, random facts about me. They're not all crazy, but a lot of them are kind of crazy. And then the other ones are just things that you probably don't know about me. And I also had to quickly mention that I recently hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is so incredibly exciting. And I know that for some people that might not be a huge number, but to me, it is. The fact that 10,000 of you feel that you get value or inspiration or entertainment from my channel means everything to me. And so I wanted to make a fun little video where I just shared more about me and who I am, and again, just like fun random facts about me. So I'm actually just gonna warm up some bone broth, and this is actually, side note, one of like my favorite little like lunches. It's more of a snack because it's definitely not super filling, but I'll do bone broth and then I do Simple Mills crackers in it, and it like reminds me of when you're younger and you have Campbell's soup with oyster crackers or whatever, but this is the much healthier version. So that's what I'm gonna make quickly right now, and then I will talk to you guys. All right, so while that is warming up, I will go over my first couple little fun facts. So the first one, some of you may know this, especially if you've seen one of my specific YouTube videos, but if you haven't, you may not. I was born with a condition where I didn't have enamel on my teeth. I actually got it from my dad. It's very hereditary, so some other people on my dad's side have it as well, some of my aunts and cousins and stuff like that. And when you are born without enamel, that is an issue because obviously enamel is what strengthens your teeth. It's also what gives your teeth the white color. So if you don't have enamel, your teeth can almost be like a clearish, grayish type color. Sounds kind of gross, kind of is. So I started going to the dentist around a year and a half old. So I was a baby when I started going to the dentist, and I have had dental work done literally since then. My whole life, I've gone through so many different things. I've probably been to a million dentist appointments in my life. When I was younger, it was very traumatic and scary, and I was absolutely terrified of the dentist my entire life. And when I was in high school, I ended up having to have a full mouth reconstruction because my teeth were weak and they just weren't gonna last me into my adulthood. So I ended up getting crowns. So all of the teeth that you see right now are crowns. They are over 10 years old though, and they will need to be redone sooner than later. And because the teeth have been in my mouth so long and they are a foreign object, they have kind of started to inflame my gums. So my gums are a little bit red, a little bit puffy, something I really don't like. So the reason I said you might already know this about my teeth if you saw a different video is because I talked about this in my Botox video, where I talked about the fact that I had Botox done for my gummy smile, which is actually another one of my fun facts, is that I have had Botox, which a lot of people would not know. And the reason that I got it was because if you get Botox up here above your lip, it relaxes these muscles, and so that when you smile, your lip doesn't curl up and you're unable to see your gums. So they call it a gummy smile, and it can be fixed through Botox. So I actually need to get mine redone because it is fully worn off now. So if I smile big, you can totally see my gums, and it's always something I've just hated, especially since they become so red and irritated and inflamed. So the Botox is really just a short-term solution. Like I said, I will need to get these crowns redone or get something else done, such as implants or more crowns or just something else, because these are just simply not gonna last forever. And some of them on the bottom are already even crooked. And then of course, like I said, my gums are inflamed, and I feel like it's just, it's getting to be the time where I need a redo. But obviously that is very expensive. Unfortunately, insurance does not pay for it because they feel that it is a cosmetic procedure and that it's not a necessity, even though it is. So yeah, it's very expensive. It's obviously a lot of downtime and appointments, and you know, obviously not something that's super fun to do. So I don't have any near future plans of redoing my teeth, but yeah, I just thought that that was kind of a fun fact. And then the fact that I get Botox to fix my gummy smile. Now I have to wait for this to cool down because it is scorching hot, but I freaking love bone broth with Simple Mills crackers. Best combination. Actually, I need a little bit of pink salt in here too. So my next fact is something that probably all of you know, if not most of you. Unless you're new to my channel, then you may not know this, but I have very severe scoliosis. My spine is curved somewhere around 90 degrees. I haven't had an x-ray in a while, so I can't say it for sure. It was something that I was diagnosed with when I was 9. And yeah, I have other videos where I talk a little bit more about like details on that. So I won't go in depth in this video, but again, I'm sure most of you already know that anyways, but I couldn't make this video without throwing that in there because that's obviously something very unique and crazy about me. The fourth fact is probably something that almost nobody on this channel knows, and that is that I lived in Mexico for about 2 months. And it was when I was 20 years old, and then I actually turned 21 in Mexico as well. And my husband and I went, and we were not only were we not married, but we weren't even dating, we were just friends. But we went with 2 other people. We went for multiple different reasons. Adventure, we went because we kind of had an opportunity there. We thought we were gonna be able to sell excursions to tourists. Didn't end up working out. My husband and I, well, at the time we were just friends, like I said, but we went completely broke. We were living in Mexico, and I'm not talking like Cancun. I'm talking about like Mexico where they don't have doors, some places don't have windows, there's no air conditioning. It would be like 100 degrees with 100% humidity. I didn't wear makeup for 2 months. I didn't do my hair. It was a very humbling experience. I learned so much. It made me such a more grateful person. It put so many things into perspective about what really matters in life, and it was just an overall crazy experience. I will say, all of the people out there that say Mexico is so dangerous and don't go there, we lived in a place called Bucerias, which was about 20 miles from Puerto Vallarta, if you've ever heard of that, and there was never a time where I felt unsafe or just uncomfortable or anything like that. Everybody was so nice and welcoming. It's much different than here where people are a little bit more standoffish. Not everybody is always so friendly and willing to help strangers. It's just much more, there's a much more stronger community, I guess, in Mexico, which was really awesome to see. And so although it was a stressful experience, and like I said, we went totally broke and it was scary, it was overall an amazing thing that I'm so glad I did in my life. And yeah, so that's kind of crazy, I guess, right? I'm just letting Ollie in from outside. He's getting hot. Come on in, Bubs. So another fact about me that some of you may know, especially if you've watched my try on hauls, that I am way smaller than your average person. I am 4'10", about 95 pounds. And pretty much everything about me is extremely small. My wrists, my ankles, my rib cage, like I'm just an overall very small person. Most people in my family are, like, my mom is short, my dad is pretty short, my brother is not short, we don't know how that happened. But I also would be a few inches taller if it wasn't for my scoliosis. So if I didn't have scoliosis, I'd probably be closer to maybe 5'1", maybe 5'2". So I wouldn't be as crazy small as I am, but yeah, I think that's pretty weird and unique, the fact that I am smaller than almost every single person my age. I'm even smaller than people that are like 10 years old at this point, so. Oh my gosh, so it's like a comfort food. Like, I'm pretty sure it's like 100 degrees out and I still want this. It's not hot in our apartment, so it's still good. But if it is like chilly where you are, or just not 100 degrees, highly recommend. So another fact is that I have been self-employed since I was 19, and so that means I've been an entrepreneur for almost 8 years. So yeah, I haven't had a job or a boss or been employed anywhere for about 8 years, and it's amazing and one of my favorite blessings in my life. To kind of spin off of that one, the next fact is that I was a hairstylist before I was self-employed, and that's what I went to school for. So after high school, went to cosmetology school, and then I started working in a couple of salons. Realized very quickly that I not only didn't like doing hair, but I also learned very quickly that I was not good at having a boss. And I really had my own dream and my own vision for my life, and not only was hair not one of them, but I also just really had a strong desire to be my own boss, create my own schedule, and yeah. Okay, I'm gonna sit here for the rest of it. Hopefully the lighting's not like too bad. But my 8th fact is that my husband and I have actually known each other for about 10 or 11 years. But the first year or 2 that we knew each other, we did not like each other. Like, I could not stand him. I thought he was rude. We had the same friend group, and I came into the friend group, which was all guys, and I was bringing my girlfriends in. and Alex was mad because he felt like we were ruining the friend group and there wasn't supposed to be girls in there, and so he just, yeah, wasn't very nice, and in return I wasn't very nice. And yeah, it's just really funny because now I think he's like one of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. He has a huge heart and he's almost nothing like he was when I first met him, but we grew on each other and obviously, and became really good friends. And then we were friends for many, many years, like 6 years probably, before we even started dating. And then we dated for about 2 years before getting engaged, and now we've been married for about 6 months. So the next fun fact is that I did, after cosmetology school, go to college. I went to a community college in Michigan. This was obviously before we moved to Arizona. And after 1 semester of school, I realized this ain't for me, I'm out. And I am not against school. Sometimes school is what you need to do in order to go after your passion. But school just simply wasn't for me. It wasn't going to get me where I wanted to be in life. I didn't want to go in debt for something that I wasn't passionate about or didn't even know what I would use that degree for. So after 1 semester, dipped out, and that was that. My last and final fun fact was that I went to a high school that had over 6,000 kids. And actually now, I believe now they're at like 7,000 students. And so what it was is it was a campus. So there were 3 separate high schools, and even though you went to one specific high school, like the one that you were assigned to, you would have classes in all 3 schools, and you would actually have to walk the campus to go to your different classes. It was actually a horrible setup. In the winter in Michigan, like they wouldn't pave, so you would be freezing and you would get like snow and water in your socks, and it was horrible. Like you had 10 minutes between classes, but 10 minutes was really not enough to walk from one building to another, so you'd be like running, and yeah, just like a horrible system in my opinion. But there were some cool parts about it. I guess, you know, you could say there's definitely pros and cons to it, but yeah, we had a massive high school that was basically like a college campus. Those are all of the fun facts that I could share with you guys. Again, I just kind of wanted to do this because I wanted you guys to get to know me better and just learn some fun personal things about me. Definitely feel free to comment below any that you were super surprised about or shocked by or just didn't know. I know this is like super random, but again, I just thought it would be fun after hitting 10K. It was just kind of a little fun video idea that I had. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.